In the study class, we have seen about ethics, integrity, and aptitude. I have just introduced the basic aspects of the class. Some points which I have dealt upon. First thing that why this ethics, integrity, and aptitude has been introduced in the UPSC Civil Services examination in the curriculum of UPSC. The key issues which we have discussed on that day, because it was introduced in 1993, 1994, at that time so many ethical issues prevalent in the Indian bureaucracy, in the Indian civil services, in the Indian administrative systems, public administration, public service delivery was being projected. It was found that the ethical reflection must be a part of the civil services curriculum. Moreover, these ethical reflections, etc., has been a part of this British civil services, and some of the foreign countries it is always there. They could also find that the business ethics is having of much value, especially in the curriculum of management. So this was considered that okay, you have to introduce it. Syllabus formation committee was there in the UPSC, which has designed the syllabus, and the title has been given ethics, integrity, and aptitude. I have posed a question to you. The question was, what is ethics? What do you mean by ethics? What do you mean by integrity? What do you mean by aptitude? Or other question was also there, that what do you mean by ethics? What do you mean by value? What do you mean by morality? And citing certain case studies which is applicable to you, you have experienced, preferably, you differentiate between these three concepts, ethics, value, and morality, because these are being used interchangeable most of the time. The basic understanding of this thing is very much required. So two issues I have posed, that what does it mean by ethics, integrity, and aptitude. The name of the subject is this. What does it mean by ethics, integrity, and aptitude? Ethics, I have told in that class, some of the students have sent me the answer of ethics, value, and morality, but from the answer, I am not getting proper idea that whether you are making the distinction or not. Some students asked last time the question also, sir, this subject is having not that much of the objectivity, it is having subjectivity. So we can write round, round, goal, goal, ghumenge, and jargon of words will be there. No, sorry, it is not like that. Proper terminology of words is very much required, proper understanding is very much required, because UPSC is having a frame of mind. The evaluator of the UPSC, the people who evaluate your copy, they are having a frame of mind, they are having certain model answers with them, some key words with them, some key concepts with them. So your understanding has to go up to that level. Here the word is ethics. Ethics is basically being used loosely in the society, that it is always considered as a synonym of the morality or value. No, it is not like that. Ethics is a very simple thing. It is a subject matter, it is a science, or very much related to science only. Like suppose it is being asked in the society that why the students are not studying in such a way so that they could get knowledge, only they are studying from the perspective of getting money. It is a psychological domain of the ethics, the why it is being so. There can be so many reasons for it. So ethics mainly concentrate that why domain, that why it is so. It explains a lot of things related to your own human life activities. That why it is like that people are behaving in this manner. So ethics are having both the issues with them. It is having positive, negative, whatever is there. It is a normative science. It is a kind of a social behavior science. It is having its, linkage with the psychology. Then it is having the linkage with what ought to be their morality aspect is coming. It is having the linkage that what is prevalent in the society and what the rules, regulations, etc. is telling. Means understanding the human behavior from all the perspective is the domain of ethics. Okay, it can be positive, it can be negative also. So different type of the case study scenario will be given. There you have to reflect that what does it mean, why the people are behaving in that manner, and what should be the particular mode of behavior. So these all they are the domain of ethics. So ethics is very broad, and in the broad domain, and in that domain there so many other domains are coming. Like in that subdomain, so many things are being understood. One is the value also. What is value? What is value? Means to whom you give value, that is their value. Suppose you are going to a market and you want to purchase a shirt, and that shirt is costing 700 bucks. You find that it is worth for 700 rupees. No? You find that this is worth for 700 rupees. Means the value of the shirt is either worth for 700 or it is more than that. That's why you are telling no कि काफी economical है, काफी ठीक ठाक है, it is reasonably priced. Means you are giving the value of the shirt more than the amount of the 700 rupees. So you are giving the preference. Alternatives are there. Either you keep 700 rupees in your pocket, or just get rid of 700 rupees, give it to the shopkeeper, and take the shirt. So you are giving more value to the shirt than 700 rupees. Means whenever you are having 2 or 3 alternatives, whatever the best alternative you are choosing, here the concept of value is coming. Okay, are you getting the point? It is a mental construct of the construct of the mind. In the mind you are thinking that yes, I am having 4 options available with me. This is the best option because I attach more value to it. So I go for it. That is the value. Am I clear what is value? That point is clear. And what is morality? What is moral? Moral is a social construct. In society, people consider certain things moral and certain things immoral. Like you are just saying, you just try to understand. Like there was a twin tower collapse. Okay, in the 9th September 9/11, and at that time a survey was done, and from the entire globe, almost 66 countries they told that the act is moral. And what do you understand? But most of you in the class, they find that it was the most immoral act. No morality is there because the twin tower has been collapsed. So what is there? That morality is a social construct, how the society perceives. Certain society perceive in a different manner. Certain society perceive in a different manner. Like suppose certain terrorist activities taking place in the country. Okay? And a terrorist takes his life in danger and making a problem of the life and death for certain people. Somebody's microphone is on. Please put your microphone off. Okay? So just the terrorist, the terrorist is putting his life at stake and is doing certain adventurism, and in the news it is coming, and people's perception is like that it is very immoral act. This type of the terror the terrorist is spreading in the country, it is not good. But try to understand that after some time, like that the terrorist is having certain ideology. Suppose it wants a new nation to be created. Suppose, and the nation is being created, he will be considered as a hero. For him, it is the ultimate sacrifice. Taking the things more objectively and coming to the points like Bhagat Singh, suppose I am telling, or Chandrasekhar Azad, At the time of the British Raj, they were considered as a terrorist only. The revolutionaries was, now we are considering them as revolutionary. Okay, and but what was the assumption? Some of the votaries of non-violence we were telling, like Mahatma Gandhi, they were always shunning violence. That violence in any form is not the remedy. You must sacrifice. It should be your own sacrifice, not the terror, not the bloodshed. Gandhi was also revolutionary, but without bloodshed. He was not believing in violence or violent behavior. He was believing in his own sacrifice only. That's why he's doing all sort of fasting, penance, and all sort of sacrifice he was making on himself. Sometimes he was going for fast unto death also, because he wanted to give the best sacrifice whatever is available. My dear students, you have to understand these concepts very thoroughly. Morality is a very different context. Gandhi is telling that religion, what are the sin? That question has been asked in UPSC. What are deadly sins as per Mahatma Gandhi? At that time, in most of the syllabus, the people who have written book, they have not given that thing in their book. Anyhow, there was one class of mine at that time only. Just before that, I had delivered that class in some university. I feel that it was perhaps some IIT, Roper perhaps. There I have discussed mainly on this topic only, what are the deadly sins, what Gandhi is telling. I have discussed that same point, that religion without sacrifice, that is also a kind of immorality. Religion without sacrifice. For Gandhi, religion means Gandhi was a very religious person. He was believing in the ultimate sacrifice. Just even in the Islam, the Bakrid is there. That Bakrid, that Idul Joha or Idul Fitr, there the sacrifice is there. The lovely things, whatever you like the most. They like their pet animals the most. They love their pet animals the most. Like the camels. They do the sacrifice of the camels because they are very much emotionally attached with the camels. It was the best sacrifice in the Islam is being given. That's why religion without sacrifice, it is a sin. In our Hindu mythology also, that people who are doing the worship, they do fasting, 1 day fasting, 2 day fasting. They sacrifice certain of their desires, certain of their wish. You just try to understand what is morality. Every society is having some different value. But there are certain things which are the ultimate value, which are the ultimate moral. It is applicable in the whole world, in entire civilization. So these concepts also require to be understood, that what the civilization as a whole have understood, that what is morality and what is not morality. Okay. But morality is a contextual term. Different societies having different value attached for the morality. So my dear students, again I am making the points very clear to you that this concept requires a proper distinction. What is value, what are moral, and what is ethics. Ethics is the entire domain. Value and moral are very different. There are certain eternal values. Eternal values that you should love your neighbors. There are eternal values, that compassion. Internal values means helping attitude. These all things are the eternal values applicable everywhere. There are certain eternal morality also, like if you shun violence, why it is so, why these are eternal. That thing has been discussed by a German philosopher. His name was Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant is very important for your ethics. Write it down, my dear students. The name Immanuel Kant, I-M-M-A-N-U-E-L, Immanuel, K-A-N-T, Kant. Immanuel Kant. His few points are having wide applicability. Immanuel Kant. Okay. Just let me So I am very much I am clear that I will come to that. I will write it down all these things, Immanuel Kant and all those things. Now come to the next topic, ethics, integrity and aptitude. What does it mean by integrity? That part we have seen in the last class. Integrity. Manasa vacha karmana. What you think, the same thing you speak or write, the same thing you are doing. Means there is a congruence between your thinking, speaking or writing and doing. Then this is integrity. Otherwise, the person is considered as a hypocrite. Okay? Opposite of hypocrisy is the integrity. Now, point is that why the name ethics, integrity and aptitude has been given. What is the applicability of the integrity? Because in the civil services domain, the civil servant has to maintain certain integrity. Okay. Integrity also differs. Like, suppose there are 4 thieves. They are going for a burglary and they have made the arrangement that who will break the first wall, he will get 20% or 40%. The second one will enter, he will get 30%. And this 30% will be bifurcated among the 2 who will remain outside and put the alarms only. Okay, they are not going inside the house. And after coming, they start distributing their items, whatever they have taken. And at that time, they are telling that my job is also equal because I was also under the same type of the situation. So it has to be distributed evenly. Definitely, the first thief will tell, so what is your integrity? We have made a commitment earlier, 40, 30, 15, 15. And now you are telling that it should be 25, 25. Why it is so? You have to spell it out very earlier. So there are also some integrity aspects is there. But here in our domain, like in the civil services, the integrity means integrity applicable for a civil servant. And what the integrity do you perceive from your own servant? Just try to understand. Suppose you are having a well-paid servant in your house. What the characters, what the moral standards, what the value system do you expect from him? So integrity of a civil servant, because we are also public servant, our salary is being given by the public exchequer, by the general public. We are all bound by the constitution. Certain written code of conduct is applicable for us. Besides, certain other rules and regulations are also applicable to us. So you must understand that what does it mean by integrity from a civil servant. That part should be very clear to you. Is it clear to you that why integrity aspect has been taken in the part of this syllabus? So integrity has to be clear, that to whom the loyalty has to be clear. Like last year one question has been asked, that you are a public servant in charge of the budget team. Just I am putting this one, sharing the screen. I am taking today's newspaper only. Okay. Okay, I am taking this one as my blackboard only. Okay. So suppose, like last time the question has come. Let me see that question. Perhaps I am having somewhere. Anyhow, that there the question was there that you are joint secretary in Ministry of Finance, and you are having some 8,000 crore rupees earmarked for the National Housing Project. Is it clear? What is your role? You are joint secretary. You are a high paid public servant. And you have been given 8,000 crore rupees for National Housing Project, out of which only 775 crore has been spent. Now situation comes that there is one special economic zone has to be constructed, for which the requirement of fund is there. Maybe that 6,000 crore. It is very much required, and there is an obligation between the two countries for this construction of this SEZ. Second thing is that there was a gas pipeline has to be made. Pipeline. There is also a contract, and for this multinational company has to be paid. And so you have to cuff. There is instruction that okay, these things are also to be followed. Besides, in Parliament, there was a hue and cry by the opposition that this money required to be spent for the national housing project. Election is coming, name of some politicians is also there. So election is coming, and in the election, every person is making hue and cry that national housing project, the money has to be there, and in which way, what the decision will you take and why. Just see. I am talking from the perspective of integrity, okay? Most of the coaching institutes have given the answer that we will give preference to this special economic zone. But my dear student, most of the places, I have never found a single answer that whether they should go for the national housing project. If your concept is very clear that you are a public servant, you are more responsible for the constitution, for the mandate of the people's perspective. And our constitution itself is telling in the very first line that India is a sovereign socialist word is there. Then the next line, justice, social, economic and political, that word is there. Means as a public servant, being true to my salt word is coming from the salary. Salt word is coming from the salary. Salary is coming from the word salt, because salt in Latin is known as salem. You are taking salary from the public. You are taking salt. नमक खा रहे हैं public का, तो नमक हराम नहीं होना चाहिए. So you should be true to the aspirations of the public. So as a civil servant, your value will be more attached for what? For the public welfare. Now coming to the answer given in the most of the coaching institutes and some places, I have found that they are telling that a special economic zone, and they are giving the reason that is stakeholder concept. Now it is coming very much in news, very much in the coaching institute world, stakeholder, etc. My dear students, your concept should be clear. Don't go for the jargon of the words. Here I am telling very clearly that job creation can be done more by constructing house in the village area. Because if house is being constructed, then for the construction of house, you require at least some clay, bricks. And means bhatta industry, the clay brick industry, the kiln industry will be more, prosperous in the village area, and more job will be created to the unskilled worker. First point. You require cement. Definitely the cement industry will be there, the iron and the sand. These three things are there. Sand means the local manufacturing sector and this type of the things. So manufacturing sector growth will be there. First thing. There will be more employment for the skilled or unskilled labor in the village area. So definitely more job can be created by this national housing project in the village area. So if you are having the basic aspects clear, this type of the questions, suppose this question has been asked in 2020 examination, you will be very much clear that how can I write this answer. Because you know that ethics, integrity and aptitude, why this has been taken in our syllabus and what does it mean by integrity. Now coming to the word, next word is that aptitude. What does it mean by aptitude? Why it is different from the attitude? Attitude means a predisposition of the mind. Means you are thinking, likely to think in that way. If I am attitude means predisposition of mind. Predisposition of mind, suppose I am posing a question to you, then you are likely to think in that way, okay, in a particular way. That is the predisposition of the mind. But when it comes to aptitude, here the concept of likingness as well as some preparation for that will go in that direction. Means if you are having an aptitude for a civil servant, then you have to think like a civil servant. Okay, it's alright that after training in the LBSNA, you will become a good civil servant, more trained civil servant, but you must have an aptitude so that you can take the training in a right perspective. Because your aptitude is like that. Prior learning is also like that. Your thinking also is like that. So you are having the basic aptitude in that particular direction. So my dear students, if that is there, means you have to think in that way. Is it clear? So ethics, integrity and aptitude, that point is clear. Now what was my earlier question, that taking an example from your own life, you differentiate between ethics, value and morality. Ethics, value and morality. There may be so many instances that come in your life. So this ethics, value and morality. Like suppose I have to give one honest, case study which happened with me in my life, my own experience. I just quote one experience. Suppose, like I was earlier commissioner in Central Vigilance Commission, and at that time I was director, and my salary was quite handsome, good. But anyhow, you know that for a civil servant also, you have to come within your budget. That if you are getting, suppose at that time, suppose my salary was 1,45,000, definitely 45,000 will go for different type of the saving scheme, and 1 lakh is coming. With 1 lakh, you have to spend amount for the children education and household work, etc. So many things are there to do. So in my family, suppose my wife has purchased a slipper worth 6,000 rupees. Okay. And I have to send 20,000 rupees to my mother who stays with me. I am having only 80,000 rupees. With 80,000 rupees, suppose the budget is there for 10,000 rupees for the children school uniform and all those things and books, etc. And 6,000 suddenly this has come that yes, I have taken the 6,000 rupees slipper. What will you how will you respond? So here the concept of that you are attaching certain value, that 6,000 is, this sandal is not worth for 6,000, at least the time is not worth for purchasing the 6,000 rupees sandal. Okay. Now here comes the concept of value. For me, the 6,000 rupees, I give more preference to rupees. My wife is giving preference to sandal. And as a whole, my children will think that why they are making fuss over this small issue. So everybody is having a different value attached with entire incidents. My daughter's reaction was that, so if he has purchased, what is big thing deal about it? So there is nothing. So they are not attaching. For them, the peace of the family is more valuable than 6,000 rupees. Okay. My mother was listening. My mother will tell what? My mother was telling that anyhow you should save some money for the bad days, because she was having the value. Her value system was more for the next time, when the crucial time is likely to come. At that time you should have some money. So just try to understand, the value is different. Everybody is having the different value attached with that one. And what is morality? Moral lesson I am taking that no, you should, main thing that you should act very diligently, especially coming to this matter. So these points has to be very much clear to all of my students. That is, I am very much clear regarding the terms ethics, value and morality. Morality means the lessons which I am deriving. So, my dear students, very few students have joined today, I don't know whatever the reason. So, Yogesh, Ujjwal, Himanshu, whether the things are clear to you or not. कुछ clear हुआ? और aura? Is my voice audible or is it lacking in between?
No, sir, it's better now.
Better. Okay. So, any doubt is there, please do ask. Or you should also ask. Put your mic video on. No problem. Okay. Any doubt is there, just ask.
Sure, sir, I will ask this time again.
Okay. So, one more point I want to make it clear that by this explanation of ethics, integrity and aptitude, whether your approach towards understanding the subject matter is becoming little bit clearer or not, why it has been introduced, what are the reasons, what are the domain under which we have to study this thing, ethics, integrity and aptitude. Okay, that thing is clear to some extent. What is ethics, what is value, what is morality, that is also clear. Okay. Now I am coming to the schedule of the class, that how this class will be there. How the class will be there, that what will be the schedule, that these are the orientation class which I am taking at present. In orientation class, my approach is that the basic domain of the subject has to be introduced. Some case study has to be given to you. That some case study we have to discuss. Almost in 30 days live interactive class, we will be in a position to complete the syllabus. After this orientation, 2 days are over. After this 30 days live interactive class, in the entire syllabus and entire case studies, we will have a thorough idea. In between the class, I will let you to interact with certain seasoned IAS officer who are having experience in the field, IPS or other civil servants, seasoned, and as well as some journalists also, for the essay paper, basically journalist. My approach to interacting with you will be through Telegram. Okay, on Telegram I will send you certain things. Like I am finding that every day the newspaper is having much value attached than reading any textbook of ethics. Newspaper itself, if you are having the basics of ethics, integrity, aptitude clear, the newspaper is the best textbook available for the ethics, integrity and aptitude, as well as for the essay paper. Okay, daily you have to read newspaper with the orientation discussed by us in the classroom. Clear? Like today I am taking some of the newspaper, that how we are reading newspaper from the perspective of the syllabus of ethics or essay. Okay. So in the mentorship program I will just put some newspaper article on the Telegram and I will discuss on that article. I will tell you to write down certain ethical reflections and to send it to me on 150 words. That will be a type of the mock assignments or mock homework, so that you will be in a position to understand that how the questions will be asked in your examination. It will be always exam oriented class, because my objective is that you should get maximum marks in the ethics paper, because you know that it is very easy to get very high marks in ethics paper in comparison to any GS paper. Okay, because our students have got 130 and plus marks most of the time in ethics paper. So 130 and plus marks getting in ethics is not that big deal, as well as the same applicable for the essay paper also. So these two things are the rank improver subject: ethics, integrity and aptitude, and as well as the essay paper. So I will interlink the class with this general studies paper most of the time also, because in the same newspaper I will tell that how this same thing will be asked in GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 as well as in the essay paper, because UPSC is having the holistic approach, integrated approach of dealing with the syllabus. Okay, so that thing will be done. That okay, any topic is there, then we will link it with GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 and essay paper all the time. So our batch size will be not bigger, it will be hardly, will not take more than 30 students. So, and whatever the doubts you are having, you just ask in the classroom, pause in between, raise your hand and put your question to me directly. Or subsequently also, suppose if you are taking this recording class, then you put it on Telegram. That's sir, I have listened your recording class, but I couldn't get these points clear, or my doubt is in that direction. Okay. By the level of your doubt and the quality of the questions you are posing, I can understand that whether in what direction you are going. Because sometimes questions are being asked just for the sake of asking question. Okay. Sometimes the questions are having certain inherent meanings. That type of the intelligent and wise questions will be very much entertained, and it will be discussed again in the Zoom class next day. Okay. So this point is there, and now coming to the next orientation class, what is there for the essay. In essay, again the same way, that why essay has been introduced. Why? Why essay has been introduced? That is also very important point. Because I have told in the last class also that essay has been introduced because in the UPSC in 1992-93, most of the students with science background, physics, math as their optionals were getting through. So in the ministry, the good drafting skill was really lacking. So Satish Chandra committee has thought that why not to take a test for the aptitude perspective for the watching this essay paper. Okay. So this essay has been introduced with that objective so that your drafting skill can be checked. Clear? Now in this essay paper you will have the unique opportunity to interact with some of the journalists of like editor or sub-editor of reputed newspapers, because their journalistic skills are also important for playing with the words. My dear student, I am giving one dictum that you must write some quotations on daily basis in your diary and just think over those quotations. This is going to help you more in the ethics paper as well as in the essay paper. So quotations are very important. You should note down 3 or 4 quotations on daily basis. It is going to help you. Like today in the telegram, I have sent you one quotation that science is organized knowledge. Write it down. And you have to write it down in the next class on this topic. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. Organized life. Have you written this quotation? Or science is organized knowledge, wisdom is organized life.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now just try to understand what I have told, the 7 deadly sins of Gandhi. Gandhi is telling that science without humanity is a deadly sin. Science without humanity is a deadly sin. Now come to this one article which has come in today's newspaper. I am finding somewhere this article and try to, we will devote some time with this article. Then we will discuss that how this newspaper reading is going to help us, especially in this direction. Okay. This article is the red flags on the trail of the virus. Today in the telegram I have told you to read this article. Okay. China's action and Wuhan lab connections do require closer scrutiny even if the US may not find the smoking gun. You know that in the Wuhan lab, there is a conspiracy theory is coming, or that this